Change is on the way. I'm Dakota Williamson. Find out how this Starkville road is finally getting a makeover.
The MSU Theater has been practicing a lot more. Stick around to find out why.
Addiction and substance abuse are serious things that people go through on an everyday basis. Hi, I'm Josh Rankin, and I'm going to tell you how a program in Mississippi State may help some of those people.
Safety is always important, especially when your attendance is in the thousands and your hours are past midnight.
Making a change for the better can bring about consequences.
It was tough.
I'm Jarius Carter with Take 30 News and found out how one MSU student made a decision that ultimately brought them happiness.
14 teams, 6 days, 1 trophy. But what does that mean to student athletes that are competing in the tournament? I'm Christian Carr with more information.
Happy first day of spring, everyone. For Take 30 News Live, I'm Jared Shields.
And I'm Anna Elizabeth Buys. While the Monty, Mississippi's water is slowly going down, the river and the water in the Mississippi Delta is continuing to rise. At 96.67 feet, the floodwaters are continuing to affect life in the Mississippi Delta. The water, known as backwater from the Mississippi River, is expected to reach around 97 to 97.5 feet, which will result in over 500,000 acres flooded. It is said that this is the worst backwater since 1973. The water has flooded residents out of their homes in addition to churches in the area. Roads are closed and the waters are continuing to rise. With the rainfall in forecast, it is uncertain when the water will crest. However, when it does, it will be months before the water returns to normal levels. On April 1st, the Mississippi River is predicted to be at 49 feet, which is still 6 feet above flood stage. We will have continued updates in the coming weeks. Over 200 people are dead, hundreds more are missing, and thousands of others are at risk after Cyclone Idai. It created a massive flooding across Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi in southern Africa. Tuesday, aid workers were still rescuing victims trapped on rooftops by the rising floodwaters. According to the AP, aid workers say that the floods have created inland ocean in Mozambique that has put tens of thousands of people in danger. The flooded waters washed away many roads, leaving workers trying to supply food, water, and blankets through airdrops. Head of response efforts for International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies called the floods the worst humanitarian crisis in Mozambique's recent history. The flooding has left 400,000 people homeless and at least 238 dead. But Mozambique President Filipe Nyusi said that the death toll could raise to 1,000. According to the AP, the U.S. Embassy in Zimbabwe said that the United States was mobilizing to provide support for its partners in the 3 countries.
A bill affecting abortion law in Mississippi has now been sent to Governor Phil Bryant to be signed. Last Monday, Mississippi House passed Senate Bill 2116, better known as the Heartbeat Bill. According to AP, the bill bans most abortions after a heartbeat is detectable inside the fetus. This would now limit abortions to around the first 6 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Bryant, a supporter of the bill, tweeted Tuesday that he looked forward to signing it. This legislation comes after a federal judge declared a Mississippi law that enacted a 15-week abortion ban as unconstitutional in 2018. According to AP, similar bills are being considered in other states as conservatives attempt to challenge the 1973 Supreme Court ruling that nationally legalized abortion.
Jared, one notoriously dangerous road is getting a much-needed makeover.
Take 30 Dakota Williamson shows us the changes coming to Starkville's Blackjack Road.
If you've ever driven around Starkville, you might be familiar with one road in particular. Blackjack Road has been a common concern for students and community members for quite a while. However, citizens of Starkville will be happy to hear that Blackjack is finally getting the much-needed repairs. Oktibbeha County has been working on the road for several years, but plans to actually widen and reconstruct Blackjack Road have been announced. According to District 2 Supervisor Orlando Traynor, the $7 million project will be funded through the University, Mississippi Development Authority, and Oktibbeha County. The newly constructed Blackjack Road is expected to be finished within 2 calendar years. You can see behind me here the power lines that run down Blackjack Road. However, what you don't see are light poles. That means when the sun goes down, Blackjack Road becomes an even bigger danger to drivers and pedestrians.
I was sitting in my house and right past Bardwell, and I noticed there was a big loud noise. Went outside, and this lady got hit by this other car going 110 right past the blind side.
Junior political science major and SA Vice President-elect Emily Case was struck by a drunk driver while on Blackjack Road in 2016. Though the road didn't directly cause this accident, she said she is a strong advocate for improvements on the road.
Yes, so before I was elected to be vice president of Student Association, I served as a senator for 2 terms. And so one of the first things I did on Senate was I wrote a resolution about getting a crosswalk on Blackjack Road, because as I mentioned before, people that live in Helix walk across there all the time, and especially at night, like having a crosswalk there at least keeps people mindful that people could be crossing.
Reporting for Take 30 News, I'm Dakota Williamson.
For more information on the plans to repair Blackjack Road, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Take30NewsMSU.
For many, college is a time of lots of partying and experimenting with alcohol and drugs. But there is a group on campus doing all that they can to help people stay away from these substances.
According to AddictionCenter.com, 31% of U.S. college students have reported symptoms of alcohol abuse. And as Take 30's Josh Rankin shows us, there's a place on Mississippi State's campus that may be able to help students overcome.
When you think of college, simultaneously the first thing that pops into your mind isn't always not drinking and not partying, so we try to foster that environment here. We are a comprehensive support program for students in recovery. We provide the college experience for students who are in recovery from alcohol, drugs, and other process addictions.
Blake has been over the collegiate recovery community for almost 4 years now, but for him, it's more personal than just his position that he holds at Mississippi State.
I myself am a person in long-term recovery. I got sober when I was 19, and I started drinking alcohol and using other drugs fairly young. And for me, it was always like it was my solution. And essentially, you have a problem with drugs and alcohol if you're not able to stop. And I wasn't able to stop on my own. And so, through the help that I got, I was granted a second chance at life.
Blake had left school in order to go into recovery, but when he returned, there was not a school support program to help. Until the collegiate recovery community started a year later, the program that would change his life.
And I had those students who were able to talk my language and were going through the exact same things that I was going through. And I fell in love with collegiate recovery. I fell in love with the community and with the field. My college experience just would not have been the same without it.
Blake is now 8 years sober and hopes to continue helping those going through addiction and want to recover. His office can be found at 140 McGruger Street on MSU's campus. In Starkville, this is Josh Rankin with Take 30 News.
The Collegiate Recovery Community has a scholarship breakfast on April 5th at the Mill in Starkville, and you can find out more information by clicking their link on Take 30's Facebook page. Coming up, transgender in Mississippi, a local student shares his story.
Take 30 News is the only student-powered television news program at Mississippi State.
We've got the latest weather report.
We go far and wide to tell you the stories you need to hear from your campus. From parking.
Parking spots are becoming more and more scarce.
To sports.
Also, the opening of the new Polk DeMint Stadium.
To how to stay healthy.
It is supposed to lessen your symptoms.
Take 30 News is the news you need, wrapped in maroon and white.
Welcome back. Being different is never fun. You may be mistreated. You may be cast out by friends. You may lose relationships. One student at Mississippi State has endured all of this to make a change he said he had to make. Take 30's Jarius Carter has the story.
J.C. Shatoni Washington, an MSU student, made a decision to do something that would change his life forever. But he wasn't always a he. J.C. grew up a female all the way through high school, but felt something was not right.
Adolescent, I always felt the same way. I always felt this way, but I didn't always know why I felt the way I felt, if that makes sense.
JC said that the first step was the hardest.
Tough coming out to my mom. I believe I came out to my grandmother first.
JC's struggle still leaves him speechless in ways he can't describe when talking about the indifferent treatment he faced.
It's real easy when you don't understand something to say hurtful things, you know. So, I mean, as far as discrimination, like at my,
But JC didn't give up.
I kind of just blocked them out and just did what I needed to do.
Along JC's journey, he found help
Dr. Todd
and
Stafford at
understanding.
the Mississippi State Counseling Center. He helped me out tremendously. Like we had, I don't even remember how many counseling sessions together. To actually be on testosterone, you have to have a letter confirming your gender dysphoria diagnosis.
As stated by WebMD, gender dysphoria is a distress a person experiences as a result of sex and gender they were assigned at birth.
The testosterone prescription I started on was a gel that I put on my shoulders every day after my shower. And so I swear, like, the next day I woke up like, is my voice deeper yet?
Over a timeline of 8 months, JC's body will begin to develop into the body he always wanted.
2018, I'm 6 months on T, is what I look like. And this is what I sound like.
2019, today I'm 7.
JC said he's happy with the decision he made. I'm Jairus Carter with Take 30 News.
If you are someone who's looking for help and understanding, the Student Counseling Center doors are always open. When we come back, we'll take a look at MSU Theater's next show.
Welcome back. The MSU Theater is getting ready to put on a new show in April.
That's right. The Tempest is the name by the late, great William Shakespeare. Take 30's Isaiah Smith was able to get us a behind-the-scenes sneak peek.
This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious.
The Tempest is believed to be at least one of Shakespeare's last plays. There's some question as to whether it was his last play or near his last play, but we know it's pretty late in his writing career. The Tempest is a story about revenge, forgiveness, love, monsters, and magic. So it really is it's a comedy, but it really kind of covers a great deal of things, and it's an audience pleaser, I believe. But you're going to switch sides, right? So
oh, that's so cute! Oh my god!
Right? So, does that make sense? Right. We build everything in house. Yeah. So it's from sets, costumes, the lights will be rehung and regelled for every show. This stage that's kind of empty. You see some platforms and stuff like that behind me, but for the most part, this stage goes to what we call zero.
This a swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light.
We're conscious always of wanting to make sure that we do shows that people will come and see, because those ticket revenue really kind of supports the rest of our season. So we'll make enough money from one show that we can kind of go, okay, that covers our next show, or that covers the next 2 shows, depending on how well we sell. So
after having to memorize all these scripts, the cast and crew says they are happy to present to you The Tempest by William Shakespeare.
For more information on The Tempest and showtimes, please visit our Take 30's Facebook at www.facebook.com/Take30newsMSU for the link. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Take 30 Sports, and later find out how Mississippi State works to keep one of its most active buildings safe.
A baby's arrival can be one of the most exciting times in a family's life. It can also be one of the most anxious. especially if the child's development is hindered by medical challenges that create more questions than answers. At Mississippi State University, we're groundbreakers in the study of CHARGE syndrome, a genetic condition that leads to a host of life-threatening birth defects. Our research teams are uncovering breakthroughs in treatment and prevention with a goal of greater understanding that leads to better care. We're also providing crucial support resources for parents and helping physicians around the globe gain awareness so symptoms can be detected and addressed earlier. By engaging in this innovative analysis and therapy, we're not only improving outcomes, we're unlocking brighter futures. It's hard to fathom. By the year 2050, Earth will be home to 3 billion more people than today. And with rising populations and dwindling resources, one of the most pressing questions is a stark one. How will we feed everyone? At Mississippi State University, we're preparing a meal table where there's a seat for all of us. As one of the nation's leading research universities, our scientists are deploying technology to enhance crop production, developing vaccines to protect aquaculture, working to boost water resources here at home and in communities around the globe. And by partnering with the League of International Universities and the United Nations, we're guaranteeing that global food security is a priority for years to come. As our world grows, so do the challenges. But when it comes to how we will feed everyone, rest assured, Mississippi State has all options on the table.
Welcome to Take 30 Sports. I'm Chris Carr. I had the chance to travel to Greenville, South Carolina, where the 2019 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament was held. The Bulldogs came out on top, and I was able to dig deeper into why those women look forward to the tournament each year.
I think it's so significant just mostly for postseason play. Every season is you're playing to make it to the NCAA tournament, you're playing to win a national championship, and obviously everybody has conference play where you play every single team, you play some teams twice. But when you come to the SEC tournament, this is kind of the final. A lot of teams don't make the NCAA tournament, and this is their tournament experience.
Arkansas, a team that was once counted out, now has an opportunity of making it to the NCAA tournament. A prime example of how significant the SEC tournament is to women's basketball.
At the end of the day, we're athletes and we are here to compete. If we're in a position where we're fighting to get into the NCAA tournament, that just takes the opportunity away for some teams, and that's very a crucial and pivotal moment is the SEC tournament. Some teams break into the bubble and get into the NCAA team tournament, and then some teams don't make it.
We've made a conscious effort to get groups involved. We want the student athletes to tell us what we can do better from a conference standpoint. That's our goal. You know, our goal is to grow the sport. My goal is to make this one the premier basketball tournaments in the nation.
NCAA comes in and they kind of turn it into like a NCAA kind of facility. So that was pretty cool to kind of come in and see like they had these big like stickers on the pavements in front, and it was like 2018 NCAA Athens, Georgia. So that was something I took a picture of, and I thought that was just something that kind of stuck with me and something that I'll probably hold on to.
Congratulations to the Bulldogs for being the 2019 Southeastern champions and now the 2019 SEC Tournament champions. The Bulldogs are now preparing for the NCAA first and second rounds this weekend in Starkville, Mississippi. After 10 years, the MSU men's basketball team has made the NCAA tournament. The team is a 5 seed in the East Regional. Here is Take 30's Will Bailey with a breakdown of this weekend's bracket for state.
Ben Howland's turned around the MSU men's basketball program after the second longest NCAA tournament drought in program history. After 4 years of recruiting, practice, and hard work, just how far can this team make it in this year's tournament? Here's a look at this weekend's opponents for MSU. Friday night, State will face off against Liberty University. They are coming off a record 28-win season after finishing second in the ASUN Conference and winning their conference tournament to make the NCAA tournament. Player to watch for them is junior forward Scotty James. James averages 13.1 points per game and 8 rebounds. If MSU advances, they will face the winner of the Virginia Tech and St. Louis game on Sunday. 13 seed St. Louis finished with a 23-12 record with a win in the Athletic 10 Tournament Championship. Senior guard Javon Best averages 15 points a game and 6.7 rebounds. 4 seed Virginia Tech finished 5th in the stacked ACC. Sophomore guard Nickel Alexander-Walker averaged 16 points a game by shooting 47% this season. If State can get hot and win this weekend, they will most likely play 1 seed Duke in the Sweet 16.
The Bulldogs will be playing Friday at 6:27 Central on True TV. Before we go to the break, the Dogs are going dancing, and that means someone has to prepare their suits and dancing shoes. Our photojournalist Avery Devon interviews the crew in charge and finds out what managers like least about the job.
My name is Christian Thompson. Orion Daly. Connor Hudspeth. Juwan Taylor. My name is John Whitebrock, and I'm the head basketball manager here at Mississippi State.
For most people where I'm from, we don't even call them managers. We call them tile boys. And I know you see them on TV, in the middle of the game, picking up sweat. I know. After a while, this job really humbles you. Like, it makes you grow up, become a better man. It's just over time, that stuff really petty. It's like, why even waste your time thinking about small stuff like that?
Favorite thing is getting to see like the inside of this program, because growing up I've always been a Mississippi State fan.
Probably have to be like the access.
Being around the coaches and players, man, being able to interact with them and being able to work with these guys every day.
I would have to say my least favorite,
laundry. The laundry, everybody hates laundry.
Same as always, laundry.
I'm also gonna have to go with laundry.
It's definitely laundry. It's definitely laundry. It's just not fun washing another man's dirty clothes. It's got to be done, and we're the ones that got to do it. Without laundry, can't practice, can't play games.
So the craziest story would have to be
Q hit the game winner versus Dayton. That was cool. Versus Giannis' little brother.
It's so many moments. I seen Lamar Peter rock up people, look at him, shoot on him. That'll probably be as wild as I got it right now for the first year.
You know, last year we had a lot of closer games. 3 out of 4 games, Q hit a game winner, last second buzzer beaters. It was crazy.
In Vegas, when we got the taxi, because I didn't know how to use Uber, and he's driving us in a loop, trying to get the price up. It's 4 a.m. Like, we just flew in. We need waters by the morning. So we're going to Walmart to get these waters. He turns around, window down. Is the Walmart closed? It's closed, man. Can you take us to an open one? He just rolled up his window and he left. Stranded in Vegas. We figured out Uber, so that's good. That was just something where I never would have thought that was going to happen.
But somebody who wants to be a basketball manager,
I say do it. Make sure that's what you really want to do, and make sure to check out the program, the coaches, and it's time consuming.
It's difficult, it's challenging, it's going to push you, and I've learned more about myself as a worker, as a man, and now in my 4th year here, and as a head guy, you really learn about yourself as a leader.
It's been said that where there's water, there's life. For some parts of the world, that simple truth has never been more evident. Fields aren't getting the water they need. Fertilizer is washing into nearby rivers and streams, and harm to the environment is rising. At Mississippi State University, we're working to change this. By designing and implementing better irrigation solutions, we're collecting, conserving, and recycling nutrient-rich water, allowing us to reduce waste, secure the livelihoods of farmers, and pave the way for a safer, cleaner environment for fish and wildlife. But we're not stopping there. We're taking the process developed in our own backyard and applying it to a global stage. So whether it's Israel, the Philippines, or Indianola, Mississippi, we're ensuring simple truths endure, that where there's water, there's life. And where there's ingenuity at work, there's Mississippi State University.
Securing a 5-story building can be a challenge on a college campus, especially when that building stays open until 2 a.m.
Take 30's Isaiah Smith has more on how the Mitchell Memorial Library stays safe.
With having more than 1,000 students visit the library a day, sometimes being proactive against school crimes can be difficult. But the security at the Mitchell Memorial Library has been successful at keeping it safe and peaceful at all times.
Someone just told me that they left the door unlocked on the 4th floor gowns room. We got a noise complaint on the 3rd floor.
Security, right? They run rounds around the library all the time. And we also have security cameras that we use. Like, you know, you can run it back and things like that. If something happens, we can figure out what actually happened and get it back to authorities or whatever, anything like that. And for instance, late nights, when you're trying to get back to your car, dormitory, anything like that, they do escorts across campus.
Hey, somebody up here trying to get an escort for the night. Can we get some help?
Got security here, like at least 2 people working at security at the time that you see, and then you got staff all the way up to about 1 o'clock. So,
in order to get help, just let any of the employees know, and they will get you what you need, whether it's getting escorted to your car, help if you're afraid, or just simply making you feel comfortable while studying.
Announcement system that if anything needs to be told to anyone in the library, everyone in the library at one time, we can get announcements out immediately. We also have at multiple station desks where the employees are, emergency buttons that directly contact the campus police if anything should be.
I need you to go check it out and make sure that everybody is okay in their room.
I just feel like people don't really know about it to utilize it. But yeah, it's definitely there.
Hey, I need an escort too. The Mitchell Memorial Library, along with MSU PD, says that they are happy to be at your service. Isaiah Smith, Take 30 News.
The Mitchell Memorial Library staff says that they have not had a serious crime happen recently. What? Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for today for Take 30 News. I'm Jared Shields.
And I'm Anna Elizabeth Byes. Catch the Thursday crew right here tomorrow. But from the Wednesday crew, have a great night, everyone.